Would you please join me in thanking our Piper, Bond alumnus, Pipe Sergeant Nick Tompkins. Distinguished guests, graduands, your families and your friends, Bond University colleagues, welcome to this 128th Bond University graduation ceremony. This afternoon we will confer degrees in the Bond Business School, the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine, and the Faculty of Law. It's my pleasure now to introduce Bond University's Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Tim Brailsford.
Well, good afternoon. What a wonderful day we have. It's almost a shame to hold this ceremony inside. Certainly for those of you who have travelled to be here to enjoy this occasion with your loved ones who will walk across the stage shortly, and particularly those of you who have travelled from overseas, yes, we really truly do get weather like this most days of the year. Well, what a wonderful day graduation ceremonies are. They're special events, particularly for our graduands sitting here in front of me, but they're also particularly special events for their partners, their parents, their families, their friends and their supporters. Thank you for being part of what I trust will be a wonderful occasion and a wondrous day and evening. Allow me to commence by first acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet here today. And on your behalf, I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and I do so in the spirit of reconciliation. The land on which we meet here today is the traditional land of the people of the Yugambeh language. I acknowledge the University's 8th Chancellor, the Honourable Dr. Annabel Bennett, AOSC, who will preside over today's ceremony, and also welcome her husband, Honorary Professor Dr. David Bennett, ACQC. I give a particularly warm welcome to today's guest speaker, the Honourable Justice David Bodice. Dave will shortly deliver the occasional address, and he has travelled down to the Gold Coast specifically for this occasion. I welcome the many special guests we have here, and I would like to particularly draw attention to Mr. Trevor Dietz and his wife Veronica, who are sitting there. Trevor and Ronnie have been great supporters of this university for a large number of years. They are proud Bond parents, and I wish them all the best as they embark upon their next big journey. Other distinguished guests, proud parents, family members, my colleagues that sit behind me, and of course today's graduating class. Graduation ceremonies are particularly auspicious occasions. Not only are they an excuse to dress up, and I say literally dress up. For most of you who do not spend every day at university, we do not actually walk around in this gear 24/7. They're worn on special occasions. But graduation ceremonies are particularly auspicious because they represent the pinnacle of achievement in a student's academic career. This is the moment at which the culmination of all those hours, those words, those assignments, those debates, those discussions and those exams all collide in the award of your degrees. And there have been many students that have come before you, and if you look around the room you will see the flags from the countries of where our students originate. And you look around the room and you see so many flags with such diversity and you simply go, wow, this university really is a truly international and diverse institution. And that is part of our mission. It has been from day one. And we believe that particularly in the crazy world of geopolitics which we see playing out in front of our eyes, it's even more important that our graduates have a strong understanding of the international dimension and the ability to work cross-culturally. You can all follow this afternoon's proceedings through the booklets which have been distributed around the chairs in the room. And in a moment when each of our graduates walk across the stage, I ask you all to be very respectful and acknowledge each and every one of them, because each and every one of them have earned and deserve their moment in the sun, so to speak. It's now my pleasure to introduce today's occasional speaker. As I said earlier, I'm delighted to welcome to campus this afternoon the Honourable Justice David Bodice. David was appointed as the Judge of the Supreme Court of Queensland in 2010. But prior to his elevation to the bench, he experienced and enjoyed a highly successful but also varied career in the law, appearing in state and federal courts and in the highest court of our land, the High Court of Australia. David was first admitted to practice as a barrister in the early 1980s and took silk, becoming a senior counsel in 2001. In 25 years of legal practice, he has built up a wealth of experience across a raft of legal disciplines, but particularly in the criminal law and the law of defamation. During the course of his career, Justice Bodice has appeared in two of the most famous, or perhaps for those of you who know your Queensland history, dare I say, infamous commissions of inquiry to be held in this state, the Fitzgerald Commission and latterly the Bundaberg Hospital inquiry. He has also served as a member of on a number of tribunals, the Queensland Anti-Discrimination Tribunal. He was for a time chairperson of the Queensland Nursing Tribunal. He has served as a judge of the Mental Health Court and as legal patron of the Medico-Legal Society of this state. David has been exceedingly generous with his time in serving on a number of boards and committees concerning the legal profession broadly, but particularly in matters concerned with the training and of relevance to a number of our graduands here today in matters concerned with training and continuing professional development of lawyers. But his generosity has not been limited to those lawyers who have had the good fortune to live and practice in Queensland. Indeed, his generosity of spirit and his commitment to giving back has extended nationwide. We found a quote when doing a bit of research on David. At the time of his swearing in as a judge of the Supreme Court, I quote from one of his peers, "David has enjoyed a neat balance of skill and calm at the interface of court advocacy." And for those of us who are familiar with legal proceedings, that indeed is high praise. And a set of attributes, I think, rarely seen exercised in common. David, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and taking time out on your valuable time, including a weekend, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please join with me in welcoming our occasional speaker this afternoon, the Honourable Justice David Bodice.
Thank you. And thank you, Vice-Chancellor, for your very generous introduction. It was perhaps more generous than it should be. Chancellor, the Honourable Dr. Annabel Bennett, AO, SC, the other Dr. Bennett, Vice-Chancellor and President Professor Tim Brailsford, distinguished guests, most importantly graduands, their families and friends. I am honoured to be giving this a congratulatory address to the graduands today. It is an enormous achievement for each and every one of you. This ceremony is a fitting end to what I am sure has been an arduous journey. When I was considering what remarks to make today, I asked my associate to read over them before I came down here today. For those who do not know about the foils of courts, each judge each year has an associate who is usually a very, very intelligent law student who has completed their degree. I have now been a judge for almost 8 years, and in that time I have had 2 graduates from Bond University as my associate, and one of those graduates is my associate at the current time. And Holly very generously read my remarks and then came back with a piece of paper that had "read" written all over it. I thought I'd obviously hadn't done very well in my task, but she told me that there were a few expressions that she thought I should include which apparently would mean something to the graduands of this university, so I do hope that you can pick up what they are along the way. The interesting thing that I have noticed about the graduates from Bond University is that the 3-semester system, whilst it is very arduous for a student, prepares you so well for actually going back into the real world. It means that when you start working, you are used to the idea that you are working 52 weeks of the year. A lot of other students, of course, have the luxury, as I had, of 4 months of the year off at the various university holidays. The sense of pride that I feel in this room today is palpable. It is a wonderful space to see all those flags around the room. The pride that you have today is not only yours, it is also that of your family and your loved ones. Take the time after this ceremony to thank them for their support. No one achieves what you have achieved today without the emotional and financial support of their closest and dearest. Take the time also to give thanks for the fabulous education that you have received at this university. Remember, education is a lifelong gift. As someone once said, learning is not the filling of the pail, but the lighting of a fire. Learning is indeed a lifelong experience. It will not end here, and every professional spends the rest of their days continuing to learn. Remember the benefits that you have received from this university. Where you can, later in life, return that favour by giving back to this university and also to the community. Give your time and your wisdom. It is important for future generations. It is 35 years and a few months since I graduated from the University of Queensland. When I think back to my ceremony, I remember having 2 thoughts. First, I have done it. It was an overwhelming sense of relief and achievement. I had decided to study law in circumstances where I had no family in the legal profession and I had absolutely no contacts whatsoever in that profession. I had attended Stafford State School and Everton Park State High School. There were no school ties to help me along the way. Few of my contemporaries were proposing to study at university, let alone study law. And against that background, I felt at the end of my degree that I had achieved much. My second thought was, what have I done? I was now facing the reality of moving into a profession with no contacts and a fear of how little I really knew. But I soon discovered, as you will discover, that you are far from unique as I was. The feeling of inclusion that you receive once you go back into your various roles from people who have been before you is the hallmark of being involved in the types of institutions that this university creates and the types of graduates that it produces to go back out into the community. As you have your own thoughts on the future, ask yourselves, what is it that you want to achieve in your careers? It should not just be financial reward. That comes almost as a matter of course if you work hard and succeed in your chosen career, whatever it may be. What you should want is to make a difference, to transform things from what they once were into something better. 3 things I suggest are important in making a difference. First, courage. Do not allow your fear of failure to stifle your ambitions. But you must also have courage in the face of adversity. Courage is different to bullish pride or brute strength. It is an inner understanding of your innate goodness and an understanding that you need to stand up for your principles and for the principles of those around you. Second, open-mindedness. The world is changing at a pace that few can envisage. Every traditional career is undergoing immense change. Embrace options that present themselves in the future. Do not allow yourselves to be cloistered in your own career discipline. Transcend boundaries and collaborate with those in other fields. One of the joys that I have found in being part of the Medico-Legal Society of Queensland is the interaction between the medical and legal professions. That organisation is made up of doctors, barristers and solicitors. It has on average 3 dinners per year and an annual conference. It was specifically established because of a recognition that the medical profession and the legal profession did not think the same, but interacted with each other on a regular basis. Previously, misunderstanding was often the outcome of such interactions, particularly when doctors were giving evidence in court and in respect of the determination of what would be the outcome of that court decision. The encouragement of dialogue between the respective professions has allowed a mutual understanding of that different thinking and a respect for each other's views. Open-mindedness encourages that same respect, which allows you to think, therefore, in a different way. The third factor is resilience. You will find in your careers that resilience is very important. Life can be a pig. I used to get into trouble from my wife when I'd say that to the children when they were younger, but now that they're older, they say that I actually knew something that they did not. Even when you are doing your very best, things will not always go your way. Be prepared to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Indeed, I venture to say that a person who does not make mistakes is a person who is not making the hard decisions of life. Take on board criticism from your superiors and your colleagues. See it part of your professional growth, not as a form of bullying. Be kind to those on the way up, for you may well meet them on the way back down again. Above all, be kind to yourselves and to your professional colleagues. Remember, it is okay to be down. Everybody has bad days. That does not mean you are suffering depression. It means you're an entirely normal individual. It is also normal to feel stressed. That is what happens in busy professional lives. What is important is that you take the time to renew yourselves physically and emotionally. Professional life is tough. Life in general is tough. It is very demanding on personal lives. Stopping to smell the roses is a key protection. It is vital for the development of the resilience, which will be so important in your future endeavours. Finally, remember that you are our future. You have the opportunity to use your learning to shape the community in which we live. Use that opportunity wisely. Whatever your careers may hold, I wish you well. I hope it brings all that you want to achieve and much, much more. Thank you.
Hi everybody. Well, David coming here today is an example of the sort of thing that I'm hoping you will take with you from Bond. David is a judge, as you heard, of the Supreme Court of Queensland, and I was a judge of the Federal Court of Australia. And we really met properly, I think, at the judicial conferences. They have these conferences for judges from all over the country once a year. And I hate the word network. It's not a word I find attractive, but the fact is you meet people in all sorts of aspects of your life, and the best thing you can do, if you meet someone you really like and you really respect, and you think represents the right sort of person in your professional field or in another field, hang on to that friendship. Take it and enjoy it, because later on, that will form part of the various people that you will appreciate and know all throughout your life, and then you can call on them when you're Chancellor to come and give a speech at the graduation ceremony here at Bond. And it was a terrific speech, actually. I mean, a lot of the things that David said, it's interesting, for those of us who've been around a little bit longer than some of you, some of those messages are things that we've had to live through. And you know, when you say it, some of it sounds a bit motherhood and apple pie, but it actually is really important. So he told you a few things that resonated with me, and of course we all take something different out of those speeches. He talked about having pride in what you do, and that's really important because that links in later on with resilience. If you're proud of yourself and what you're doing inside, then you will be strong when things come up and you'll know you've done wrong. Because one of the other things he mentioned were the 3 things I thought were important, and he mentioned courage, and the first thought that went through my mind was how much harder it is for you to stand up for what you believe in, perhaps in these days of social media, because it isn't as easy, and things can come back at you, and it's actually a little bit harder to stand up for your principles today, perhaps, than I think it was when I was younger. He talked about lifelong learning. Well, I mean, that sounds hard when you're starting out, but that does work. When I started off, I did science, and then I did a PhD, and then I did law. I did my law part-time because I was having children at the same time. Now, the reason I didn't start off in medicine, which was actually one of my first considerations, was that I wasn't coming to Bond in those days. They didn't have a medical school here anyway. And I said to myself, I couldn't spend all that time at university studying medicine. So I spent 14 years at university studying other things. Figure that one out. But I think it's really important also that he talked about all the concept of resilience. And you think that sounds something that is easy for someone to say. Let me tell you, when you're a judge and you've put body and soul into a case and you've come up to a decision that you really have thought through and you think is right, and it goes up on appeal and you're overturned 3-0, that's resilience to deal with that and to go back into court the next day. So it's a question of practicing what you preach. And it really is important, because unless you have that resilience, you can't keep doing your job. So David does his job incredibly well. He is extraordinarily calm, and although you might not have seen it today, he's an awful lot of fun. And so I want you to join with me in thanking him for giving up his time down with a breakdown on the M1 to come here to Bond to speak to us today. Well, special day graduations, they really are, and you've got so many people here supporting you, which is fantastic. Some of you have brought along some younger members of our society with you. Now, this is a long exercise, and it's not necessarily rivetingly exciting for people under the age of, let's say, 18. So, or even over 18, but there you go. You learn to sit still as you get older. So if some of those young people want to cry out or run around or squirm, I know that everyone's going to be incredibly tolerant, and I would absolutely urge parents of those children not to take them out. They are part and parcel of today, and if we treat them really well, they're going to be future Bondies. And we want to see them here. Speaking of Bondies, the first experience I had as Chancellor of Bond is something else that David adverted to. You go into a room full of people and you mention the word Bond University, and the Bondies are instantly recognisable because they're the ones whose faces light up. And that was the first experience I had, sitting next to someone who said to me, "What do you do?" And I'm talking, and I sort of say, "And I'm Chancellor of Bond." And this smile breaks out and the person says, "I went to Bond too." And it's an instant moment of bonding. And it is, I've been through a lot of other universities and I've loved those experiences, and I'm not downing any of them, but this is a really special place. It's a really special place because it creates some sort of atmosphere that is so special, and I guess partly because each of our graduates and later graduates are so very special. So hang on to each other, enjoy being Bondies, keep up with the alumni, keep up with each other, and keep coming back to us. And part of the reason for your experience being so fantastic is because the people who are supporting you, and I know it's already been spoken about, have wanted you to be here and have this experience. And we thank you. We thank the parents and supporters and families and friends, because a lot of sacrifice has gone in to having these young people here, and we know that. And we know how special it is, and you're all part of the Bond family. I know what it feels like because my husband and I have sat over there to watch one of our children graduate from Bond, and it's something that made her life pleasurable and wonderful, and she's a little bit older than you are now, but she absolutely enjoyed every moment here and still has those memories. So hang on to those, and thank you so much. But the other group of people, of course, who have to be thanked are the staff of the university. I've been amazed myself at the dedication of the university staff here and how much they care about each and every student. And let's face it, in how many universities do the staff know each and every student? So that's something that interaction is something else that's special about Bond, and I want you to keep up with those members of staff with whom you may have created a special bond, and let them know what you're doing because they've put so much effort into you. I'm sure they'd like to hear your successes. So I've noticed the joy on the faces of the kids. I've noticed the joy on the faces of the families. I know the little bit of trepidation you have because, of course, they're not graduates yet. I may not say the magic words, you know? And I was always frightened that what would happen would be, as my daughter was going to come up, someone was going, like that, speak now, forever hold your peace. I was terrified until that moment came that someone would say, I don't think she actually made it. And it was my kid who wasn't going to go through. So hang in there and don't worry, I'm sure it'll happen. And there's no one going to stand up and say, not that one. So, as the Vice-Chancellor said in his opening remarks, it's a special day. It's one of the best things that I do at Bond is to be part of these graduation ceremonies, to see the joy on the faces of each of you as you go forward. So this is the most formal part of what I do at the university. It's the best part of it. And I look forward to the presentation of each individual graduand when the time comes. So I now call on the Chair of the Academic Senate to present the candidates for their degrees.
Will all candidates for degrees please stand? Chancellor, I wish to present graduands from the Bond Business School, from the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine, and from the Faculty of Law for admission to awards of Bond University. Chancellor, I certify to you and to the university that the graduands have satisfied the requirements for admission to the award for which they are being presented.
With the authority of Council, I hereby admit you to the awards for which you have qualified. I also admit to their awards those candidates listed in the graduation program who are unable to be present today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the moment of graduation. Please join me in congratulating the newest graduates. We now move to the formal presentation of testamenters.
Chancellor, I present undergraduates from the Bond Business School. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after they have been conferred with their degree. Shahad Abdullah Al-Ghamdi. Blake Ricardo Penny. Lincoln David Crooks. Joshua Daly Manocchio. Kieran Kennedy. Samantha Jane McDougall. Mitchell Lewis Horrocks. Mohanad Abdullah Al-Rashid. Zhou Chi-Huan Chen. John Leslie Curtis. Sarah Page Doughton. Matthew Ferguson. Shannon Habbo. Momin Mohammed Fauzi Ezeldin. Siboney Louis Calderon. Exigiel Olivieri. Jock Pearson. Amanveer Singh Rai. Hannah Louise Rankin. Miriam Adirawa Ratu Farhed. Patrick Sam Richards Gothen. Philippa Kunle Sekelston. Jason Clive Simmet. Jacqueline Smythe. Logan James Taylor. Yang Yin Yang. Wen Yu Zhou. Olga Chernilovskaya. Harry Foley. Judith Grace Hutchinson Strawn. Nicholas Rodney Johnson. Micah James Rivetti. Yeah. Kieran Lambert. TJ Singh Sumo. Lauren Claire Timmins. Dušica Svetkovič. Amber Charlotte Hillam. Jemima Murugin Juki. Yi Tae Yu. Christopher Lee Young Mak. Chancellor, I present postgraduates from the Bond Business School. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after they have been confirmed with their degree. Thomas Agdobanye Imaihu. Elisha Huger-Vost. Bikash Busal. Cindy Deng. Yi-Jin Lee. Janelle Parind Malbari. Ilmira Mukamiet Janatova. Su Young Na. Janie Praful Shah. Hu Yen Won. Ronak Vimal Damani. Li Xian Chen. Jia Yue Ju. Shrey Baluja. Vaishnavi Anand Meghe. Pong Pong Jong. Giulia Badalotti. Jennifer Latore. Sharon Mathagu Maja. Viren Fojalal Modi. Aisa Shnudi. Matthew Graham Blur. Mary Antoinette Omandan Lozano. Jaren van der Vet. David Brian Walsh. Connor Ryan Kirkpatrick. Andrés Ricardo Sabogal Galindo. Dennis Mark Hamilton Gabriel. Athanasia Katsimberis. Chancellor, I present undergraduates from the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after they have been conferred with a degree. Jay Sagar Bajra. Emma Victoria Campbell Bishop. Ella Nicole Bond. Lauren Ivy Brennan. Nathaniel Chua. Manu Rishidara. Nadine Alicia Edwards. Gautam Jaya Balaratnam. Shanice Mador. Ariana Taulepa. Phoenix Yin Ling Wong. James William Wiseman. Hyo Jan Kin. Chancellor, I present postgraduates from the Faculty of Health Sciences and Medicine. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after they have been confirmed with their degree. Danny Bunting. Katrina Eloise Bache. Amelia Gabriel Bandera. Amandine Barnett. Amy Cecily Boydin. Christopher David Dewsbury Duff. Matthew Hart. Celia Inerarity. Sean Robert Kenworthy. Alexandra May Lindeberg. Sophie Ellen Mary Marnie. Kerry Robert O'Brien. Petra Salo. Kelly Marie Dixon. Daniel Ibe Asonia Jr. Emma Jean Beatty. William Davies James Brown. Chloe LeMay Chapman. Matthew Stephen Christini. Mark Peter Delgallo. Ashley Anuli Egbo. Kate Louise Emery. Kiyoshi Felix Sakurai Gold. Sam Michael Johnston. Aaron Taylor Joseph. Eric Raymond Leon. Daniel James Mopin. Mung Xiao Michelle Miao. Karen Mistry. Corey John Mayers. Byron Raymond O'Neill. Kate Louise Orkild. Catherine Monique Rees. Jason Ian Sharp. Kimberly Ann Talaber. Amy J. Wiley. Thomas Stewart Cornelius Wills. Amy Florence Yonezawa. Christian John Nathan Zekic. Chancellor, I present undergraduates from the Faculty of Law. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after they have been confirmed with their degree. Deshan Silva. Shannon Taylor Carroll. Carmen Joey Chen. Madison Mahalagembo. Haley Ann Goodwin. Emma Griffiths. Matthew Judkins. Emily Rose Lishman-Krirar. Xiaoyu Liu. Numer Muhammad Malik. Marie Lillian Ogg. Shi Tengong. Zara Rashedi. Charlotte Olivia Hope Robinson. Caitlin Cherville. Charlotte Lillison Baker. Mitchell Grattan Willocks. Michaela Lee Wyndham. Nicola Marion Stewart. Larissa Karen Perkins. Navdeep Singh Chabra. Michael Alan Bobby Dagg. Blake Hayden Greenway. Felix Kaladi. Lois May Bullen. Emma Rose Nicole Carney. Catherine Marina Livanis. Sky Angela Susan Ranikar. Tanvi Sika. Jeremy Allen Butcher. Dakota Lily Morris. Chancellor, I present postgraduates from the Faculty of Law. The Executive Dean will congratulate each candidate after they have been confirmed with their degree. Shane Michael Finch. Mima Angelica Garipoli. Chantel Veronica Groth. Brooke Mallard. Susie Anastasia Patras. Bingul Ibrahim Ali. Havna Sahai Balian. Rikisha Santana Brown. Tsai Kui. Michael D'Ambrosio. Clayton Good. Sophie Rachel Guinan. Xin Zhou Yu. Niharika Ahuja. Ryan Fedorak. Brianna Claire Lurs. Sasha Mostafavi. Yue Sun. Christina Laura Ramsden. Xiao Yang He. Roslyn Wan. Sarah Black. Aurelia Valentina Sieber. Chancellor, the following candidates are presented for the award of research doctorates. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, thesis title, The Impact of Relationship Type on the Connection Between Customer Satisfaction and Consumer Behavior. Paul, excuse me, no, sorry. Okay, excuse me. I'll start again. Thesis title, The Impact of Relationship Type on the Connection Between Customer Satisfaction and Consumer Behavior, Paul Alexander Bowers. Yeah. Thesis title, Determinants of Risk-Taking in Experimental Asset Markets, Johannes Michael Burger. Thesis title, Equity Market Information Asymmetry and the Small Firm, Bruce Leo Dwyer. Thesis title, What Makes People Stay? A Focus on Retention and Job Embeddedness as an Alternative Approach to the Staff Turnover Problem in Hospitality. Lorena Yam. Thesis title, The Lantern Project, Illuminating the Value of Nutrition in Older Australians, Cherie Hugo. Chancellor, I present an undergraduate from the Bond Business School, graduating with a Bachelor of Business and recipient of the Grenby Family Beyond Bond Medal, Lachlan Andrew Delbridge. Chancellor, the valedictorian has been selected to give the valedictory address on behalf of the graduating cohort this afternoon. She is graduating with a cumulative grade point average of 3.84 out of a possible 4. All of her graded coursework results were either distinctions, 3, or high distinctions, 14, and she has been placed on the Vice-Chancellor's list for academic excellence on 7 occasions. Graduating with a Doctor of Physiotherapy with high distinction and a cumulative percentage average of 90%. Sharice Conkin.
Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, faculty members, friends, family, and fellow graduands. Before I start, I'd like to pay my respects to the traditional owners of this land in which we meet on today, and to the elders of past, present, and future. And thank you for this opportunity. Graduating class of 2018, we did it. Congratulations. Now, I'd like to take a walk down memory lane. I want you to remember your bond interview, or your acceptance letter when you scrambled for money to try to make it work, or the first time you walked around Bond University. Fast forward through the nights in which you may have cried in your textbook, or the anxiety attacks that you had while delivering your first presentation. Every practical in which your mind went completely blank and for a walkabout, or when you fumbled for words on a debate or mock trial, or writing that exam and just scrambling to finish writing as fast as you can, and having your heart jump out of your chest for a final presentation, or collaborating with peers and ready to pull your hair out because all the strong personalities in the group will just not get on the same page. And personally, within the healthcare field, the time that you had a patient faint on you or a catheter wrapped around their leg. I'd like to remind you during all of these difficult times, did you die? Now rewind to the memories where you had your study days on the beach and enjoyed a little salt water, stuffed your face at the Miami Marquetta, explored for rock pools in the hinterland, or chased Pokemon around the campus. And then those late nights in which you stumbled down Broad Beach and surfers. Those are the moments that we met new friends from all parts of the world and embraced all that the Gold Coast has to offer. One of our mantras in class, everyone will know it quite well, someone not as smart as you has passed this course. And I look into the audience and I know many people that are much smarter, brighter, more talented, hardworking, and just dedicated than I am. And we did it. I'd like to also remind you that sometimes even the brightest are not so bright, because until I received an email from Deputy Vice Chancellor Alan Finch, I may have thought that it was Valedictorian with a V instead of a D. So we all have our moments. On behalf of the graduating class, I would like to thank faculty, family, and friends. Thank you for the endless hours of proofreading our papers, running through scenarios with us, explaining concepts until the penny finally dropped, talking us out of quitting, and keeping us fed and sane. We couldn't have done it without you, and I know personally that I wouldn't be here for today if it wasn't for the love and support from my family, friends, colleagues, and mentors. For those of you that don't know me, I was born and raised from a family of 13 in a small Canadian town of less than 900 people. I quite literally grew up and was born and raised beyond hope and past the gates of hell. There's a small little community, Hope, British Columbia. You go just further than that, there's another tourist attraction called Hell's Gate, and that's where that comes from. I never thought of myself as good enough, smart enough, or just talented, and it's taken me over a decade of education to get where I am today. This small town kid from the middle of nowhere didn't think that she'd be standing here trying to impart words of wisdom onto your futures. My words of inspiration actually come from one of my darkest moments in life where I struggled to put one foot in front of the other. It was at that time my older, wiser sister called me up and said, "You only get one life to live." If I had figured that out 10 years earlier, I wouldn't have wasted that time. Graduating class of 2018, I pass these words on to you. You get one life to live. Follow your passion and live life to the fullest. Do things that excite you, scare you, make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Disregard the moments of self-doubt and negativity, that you're not good enough or you're not capable, and keep following your passion. You can do it, you will do it, despite what anyone else says. Work hard, set goals, smash through them, because you only get one life to fill up. 20 years from now, you'll be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones that you did do. And as my great-grandpa used to reiterate, You can do as much as you think you can, you'll never accomplish more. If you don't believe in that, young one, there's not much for you in store. I'd like to leave you with a quote by Cheryl Strait. This is not the moment to wilt into the underbush of your insecurities. Class of 2018, congratulations again. Embrace this moment. You deserve every second of it. Go forward and live your best life. And now is the time to put on our big kid pants and go adult. This is a moment that all of our parents have been waiting for. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was a wonderful valedictory address. Charisse, you have done your classmates proud, you've done your family proud, and you've done yourself proud. It's not that easy to stand up here in front of about 1,200 people and deliver an address on behalf of the graduating class. As Charisse says, she's from a small town, British Columbia in Canada, and her family and her parents are sitting down here, and they have flown over to be here today. But when I was talking with Charisse yesterday in the practice and getting things ready for today, she informed me that her family did not know that she'd been selected as a valedictorian to give the address, and so they have literally only just found out. So, coming from a family of 13 children, I think your parents must be pretty resilient. But I think I've just seen your father cry. Charisse, thank you very much. An outstanding oration. My congratulations on the address. My congratulations on your outstanding academic results here at Bond University. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Charisse again. So we are almost at the end of formalities. Universities have various traditions and quirkiness. That is not just dressing up, as I said earlier, in these fancy clothes. At this university, at the conclusion of every graduation ceremony, the Vice-Chancellor and President of the university, i.e. yours truly, reads out a set of questions, essentially in the form of the Bond University charge. And it lays out our expectations on you going forward. So I'll now read the charge out, and then I'll ask whether or not you accept. Will you please be upstanding? I charge you as graduates of Bond University to demonstrate at all times the highest moral and ethical standards, to apply your learnings and education to the benefit of society, to pursue the highest standards in all of your endeavours with excellence always your aim, and to forever support and enhance the reputation of your university through engagement as proud alumni. Graduates, do you accept that charge? Yes! You got it. Thank you. Please be seated. Let me conclude with just a couple of simple and relatively brief messages. It's been a long ceremony. I'm sure everyone wants to get outside and hug some people and thank some people. And on the topic of thanks, can I thank on behalf of the university all of you here in the audience who have supported your loved ones through their journeys here at this university. I'm sure at times, as our valedictorian has stressed, there have been highs, but there have also been some lows. And during those lows, they have needed the support of their family, their parents, their partners, their friends, their community, and their supporters. And you have helped them on their journey, and you will continue to help them on their life journey in that regard. We also appreciate that education is costly, and in many cases you will have financially supported the students on their journey, and I thank you on their behalf. Can I ask that our graduating class, clearly you will acknowledge in due course the people in the audience, but I'm sure there are many of your friends, families and supporters who are not able to be here with you today. I'm sure that they would love to hear from you at some stage during the afternoon or evening, and they want to hear your voice. Do not text them, don't get on Facebook. You know that mobile device that is stitched in the palm of your hand? Do you use it what it was originally designed for, a telephone. Phone a friend, phone a family member. Do not text, do not Facebook. They want to hear your voice, trust me. And as you move forward and beyond today, I'm sure that you'll all enjoy the fruits of your labours. University education is tough, but university education is also a gift. Some would describe it as the greatest gift that you can ever possess. Use that gift wisely. Be sure and true in your decision making. Ensure that your moral compass is pointed in the right direction. Ensure that your decision making is always undertaken with the best of ethics and the best of intent. Ensure that you represent your university, which is now this university, well, for our reputation will be forged upon your achievements and your endeavours and those that have gone before you. Graduates, I wish you much luck in whatever the future holds. Today is your day. I'm sure you are going to enjoy yourselves this afternoon and this evening, and recognise that when you wake up tomorrow, you are now a proud member of the Bond University Global Alumni Network. And that means you are forever a Bondie. In May each year, we hold our annual homecoming, which is an opportunity for alumni around the world to return to campus, to get together, share some stories, share some laughs, share a few drinks. And next year will be our 30th anniversary. On the 18th of May, we will hold and host the biggest party this university has ever seen, and you're all invited. So I look forward to seeing you there. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long ceremony, but I'm sure you will agree each and every one of our graduates deservedly has had their moment in the sun, as I said at the outset, and I trust that you have enjoyed it as you have witnessed your loved one and their friends pass across the stage. You've been very patient, but there is an opportunity to try and raise this roof above us a little by making a lot of noise one last time for the latest graduates of Bond University.